The price of desperation. A reckoning at the door. The Ireti siblings returned home, their minds still racing from the events of the night. "We are never doing that again," Daniel muttered, dropping onto the worn-out couch. Sade hesitated. "But we still need the money." Before Daniel could respond, a loud knock made them jump. The air in the room grew thick with fear. Mama Ireti wiped her hands on her wrapper and went to open the door. She gasped. The landlord stood there, flanked by 2 uniformed policemen. "Madam, your rent is due," the landlord said, arms crossed. "And I've been hearing rumors your children have been making deliveries." Daniel's heart stopped. How did he know? The officer stepped forward, scanning the family. "We have some questions. There's been an increase in illegal activities in this area, and we believe your children might be involved." Mama Ireti turned to her children, her voice shaking. "What is he talking about?" Daniel swallowed hard. "Mama, we made a mistake." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Oh, my God, what have you done?" An ultimatum. The officers stepped inside. "If we find any evidence linking you to these activities, you'll be arrested," one officer warned. "You don't want to go down that road, kids." Mama Ireti folded her arms protectively around her children. "They are not criminals." The landlord sighed. "I don't want trouble. But if I don't get my rent in a week, you'll be out on the street." The officers exchanged glances before stepping back. "Consider this a warning," one of them said before leaving. As the door shut, silence fell over the room. Mama Ireti turned to her children, her expression a mix of anger and desperation. "Tell me everything. Now." Daniel exhaled and told her everything. The job. The deliveries. The money. Mama Ireti's hands trembled. "Do you even realize how close you came to being arrested? To ruining your futures?" No one spoke. Finally, she whispered, "You have to fix this. Now." A dangerous confrontation. The next morning, Daniel knew what he had to do. He walked back to Chairman's warehouse, his stomach twisting into knots. Inside, Chairman smirked as he saw Daniel. "Back for more." "We are done," Daniel said, standing his ground. Chairman chuckled darkly. "That's not how this works, boy." "I don't care," Daniel said firmly. "Leave my family alone." Chairman's smirk faded. "Then make it worth my while." Daniel hesitated, then reached into his pocket, pulling out the small amount of money they had been given. "Take it. Just let us go." Chairman stared at him for a long moment before laughing. "You've got guts, boy." He leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. "I'll let you go, for now. But remember, desperation will bring you back. And next time, there won't be an easy way out." Daniel turned and walked away, his heart pounding. He had bought their freedom, but for how long? A desperate gamble. Back home, Mama Ireti hugged him tightly. "We'll find another way," she whispered. But how? The next morning, she swallowed her pride and went to the market. She approached an old friend, Madame Bose, a well-known food vendor. "Please," Mama Ireti said, her voice trembling. "I need a small loan to start a food store." Madame Bose sighed, looking at her for a long moment before nodding. "I'll help you. But don't disappoint me." With that money, Mama Ireti bought ingredients and set up a roadside food store. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Meanwhile, Daniel took up a back-breaking warehouse job. He lifted heavy bags for hours, his muscles aching, but he refused to complain. Sade and Femi, shaken by their near miss with danger, refocused on their studies. They now understood, shortcuts had consequences. A test of resilience. Just when things seemed to be improving, an unexpected setback struck. A group of local hoodlums harassed Mama Ireti at her store. "You're on our turf," one sneered. "Pay up, or we'll shut you down." Mama Ireti's heart pounded. "I don't have money for nonsense," she snapped. One of them grabbed the pot and threw it to the ground. "We are not asking." That night, she returned home exhausted, disheartened. "If they come back, I don't know what I'll do," she whispered to Daniel. Daniel clenched his fist. He couldn't let his mother suffer for trying to do the right thing. The next day, Daniel visited a local youth leader, Uncle Jide, who was known for protecting the community. "These guys are harassing my mom," Daniel told him. Uncle Jide nodded. "I'll handle it." That evening, when the hoodlums returned, they were met by a group of older men from the neighborhood. The thugs backed off. Mama Ireti's store was safe. A new beginning. Days turned into weeks. The food store gained regular customers. Daniel's job, though hard, brought in steady money. One evening, the family sat together, sharing a simple meal. It was just rice and stew, but tonight, it tasted like hope. Mama Ireti looked at her children, Daniel, exhausted but strong, Sade, wiser, Femi, still innocent. She smiled through her tears. "We almost lost ourselves," she whispered. "But we found our way back." The road ahead was still long. The struggles weren't over. But they had each other. And that was enough. The end.